Gas station stop!
You're crazy with the heat. Credit is no good for a notion salesman.
Board! All aboard!
Why not? What's the matter with credit? It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an anvil salesman. Your firm gives credit?
No, sir.
Nor anyone else.
River City! River City Mass!
Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the button hooks.
Cash for the cotton goods. Cash for the hard goods.
Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods.
Cash for the nuggets and the pickings and the fritters.
Cash for the hogshead, cask and demijohn. Cash for the crackers and the pickles and the fly pickles.
Look, what do you talk? 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 What do you talk?
Where'd you get it?
What do you talk?
You can talk, you can talk, you can bicker, you can talk, you can talk, bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Once a Model T Ford made the trouble, made the people want to go, want to get up and go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county seat.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Who's gonna patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where'd you get it?
What do you talk?
Now the Model T, it'll take it together at the store, at the margarine store, at the present day store, at the present day margarine departmentalized grocery store.
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where'd you get it?
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where'd you get it? You can talk, you can bicker, you can talk, you can bicker, you can talk, bigger, bigger, bigger. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Why, it's the you need a biscuit made the trouble. You need to put the crackers in a package in a package. You need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package made the Cracker Barrel obsolete.
Cracker Barrel went out the window with a mail pouch cup to charmed by his soul. Changed the approach of the traveling salesman, made it pretty hard.
No, it didn't, but you gotta know the territory.
Gone.
Gone with the hogshead, casket, demijohn. Gone with the sugar barrel, pickle barrel, milk pan. Gone with the tub and the pail and the tears.
Ever meet a fella by the name of Hill?
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 No!
Just a minute.
Never heard any salesman Hill.
Now he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory. What's a fella's line?
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or the Cracker Barrel being obsolete, or the you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package, or the Model T Ford.
Just a minute.
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or a doggone thing. He's just a banky, bell ringing, big hall, great dough, neck or nothing, rip roaring. Every time a bullseye salesman. That's Professor Harold Hill.
Tells him, listen wrong.
What's the line?
He's a fake man. He doesn't know the territory.
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
He's a music man.
He's a what?
He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums and the big brass bass. The piccolo, uniforms too, and a shiny gold braid on the coat with a big red stripe running.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Mandolin picks, perhaps, and here and there a Jew's heart.
No, the fellow sells bands, boys' bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king, and he dallies and he gathers and he puffs and he shines. And when the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him.
Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory.
River City. Look, first of state line to Iowa. River City. Population 2,212. Cigarettes illegal in this state. Board!
All right. If you're all through, I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
Never saw him in my life, but I know this much. He's giving every one of us a black eye. After he's worked the town over, the next salesman to arrive gets automatically tarred and feathered and rolled out to the city limits on the range. Whoa, you think that's funny? Well, wait till it happens to you. Your hair never grows back.
But why should he get rode out of town on a rail?
Yeah, because in order to sell band instruments and uniforms and instruction books, he has to guarantee to teach the kids to play.
Well,
Yeah. And to form them kids into a band with himself as the leader.
What's wrong with that?
He don't know one note from another, that's what's wrong with him. And he can tell from a bass drum to a pipe organ. I'll just wait that swindling two-bit thimble rigger, and when I do, I'll squeal on him so loud that
Wow, you are mad, Charlie. I sure want to be around you when you catch up to that fella.
Well, not on this trip, not in Iowa. Even the great Professor Harold Hill wouldn't try to sell them netball Hawkeyes out here.
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll give Iowa a try.
Don't believe I called your name.
Yes, I'm interested in a rig for Sunday if you could accommodate me.
I expect you ought to see the man in charge of hiring rigs. Who's late, as usual.
Hey, Greg, Marcellus! What do you want? But Greg, Professor Hill's the name now. Harold Hill.
But Greg, what are you doing here? Why didn't you let me know you was coming?
I didn't know I was coming myself. Besides, how'd I know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Oh, too many close shaves the way you work.
Blah.
Besides, I got myself a nice, comfortable at the top of my boss's knees.
Gone legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
So, what's the new pitch? You are now back in the band business. I heard you had steam automobiles.
I was.
What happened?
Somebody actually invented one. Oh. Now give me the lowdown here, Marsh.
You'll never get anywhere with the stuff you want, Square. Besides, we got a stuck up music teacher who expose you before I get your quick one packed.
Male or female?
The music teacher? She's a librarian female.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. If she comes by, point her out to me.
I will. Are you going to start a pitch?
Same old way. Keep that music teacher off balance, and then my next step will be to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
River City isn't in any trouble.
Then I'll have to create some. I have to create a desperate need for a boys' band, you remember. what's new around here? What can I use?
Oh, nothing except a billiard parlor, just putting a new pool table.
They've never had a pool table here
No,
before.
home billiard.
That'll do. See you later, Mars, and remember, music teacher, music. Ah, you're Mr. Dunlop. Either you are closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why sure, I'm a billiard player, certainly mighty proud to say I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with the cue in my hand are golden. Up to cultivate a horse sense, and a cool head and a keen eye. Did you ever take and try to give an ironclad lead to yourself from a 3-rail billiard shot? But just as I say it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a pole climb game, I say that any boob can take and shove a ball in a pocket. And I call that swamp the first big step on the road to the depths of the day. What I say first is a little medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pitch black suit. And listening to some big out-of-town jazz or hearing them tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome truck race, no, but a race where they sit down right on a horse. Like to see some stuck-up jockey boy sitting on day and back, make your blood boil? Well, I should say. Friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets at a table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital B, and that rhymes with B, and that stands for cool. And all week long, River City built to be fritter, and the way I say your young men will be fritter. Fritter in the way there's noontime, summertime, chore time too. Get the ball in the pocket, never mind getting dandelions pulled or a screen door patched or the beef steak pounded. Never mind pumping any water to your parents on call with the system. And if you're on a Saturday night, that's trouble. Oh yes, you're in lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the knickerbocker, shirt tails, young ones, peeking in the pool hall right after school. You got trouble. Folks, right here in River City. Something with a capital P in that rhymes with P that stands for pool. Now I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around the hall? They'll be trying out Beagle, trying out Cuban, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette feeders, and brag and all about how they're gonna couple up the telltale breakfast sets, and one fine night they'll leave the pool hall heading for the dance of the army, liberty, Mexican, scarlet, women, and ragtime. Shameless youth that'll drag your son and your daughter to the arms of a jungle land of a lynching mass hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital P in that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
Oh yes, we got trouble.
We sure got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school.
Our children gonna have trouble.
Mothers of River City, heed the warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. When your son leaves the house, does he buckle his knickerbockers below his knee? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he memorizing jokes at Captain Billy's whiz-bang? Are certain words creeping into his conversation? Words like swell and so's your old man. Well, if so, my friends, you got trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital T in that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
Oh, yes, you got trouble.
We sure got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Remember the Maine Plymouth Rock and the Golden Rule.
Our children gonna have trouble.
Oh, yes, we're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game with the 15 number balls and the devil's rule. Oh, yes, you got trouble, trouble, trouble.
Oh yes, we got trouble. Yes, we got a big trouble.
With a P. Got a rhyme with the P. And that stands for pool.
Right here in the city with a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. That stands for pool. We sure got trouble. Right here in the city. Right here. Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school.
Did you drop here?
No,
Didn't I meet you in?
no,
I'll only be in town a short while and...
good.
Yes, Mama. Keep on, Amarillo. I'll be there in a minute. Hello, Mama. Fine, dear. Now you're exercising.
I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July.
It was, Mama, all evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh, who?
I never saw him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. Now don't dawdle, Amaryllis. So do-la-ray to me a little slower, and please keep the fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Now don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind my saying so, it wouldn't have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Excuse me for women, but I've never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with the same old comment about the low mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
No, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But darling, when a woman's got a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all them other highfalutin Greeks.
No, Mama, if you don't mind me saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
No, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about that stranger.
What stranger?
With a suitcase who may be our very last chance.
Mama, do you think that I'd allow a common masher? No, really, Mama. I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards, and if you don't mind my saying so, there's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to that blend of Paul Bunyan, St. Pat, and Noah Webster you've concocted for yourself, and in your Irish imagination, your Irish stubbornness, and your library full of books.
Well, that isn't the best I've ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May
I have a drink, please?
Yes, dear.
Winthrop, it's after dark. Is that a way to walk into the house?
Hello.
That won't do it all. I'll have a kiss from my boy. The lady over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, where's your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you please come? I'd especially like it very much if you come. Winthrop?
Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis asked you to a party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name.
He won't say Amaryllis because of S because of his list. He's ashamed.
Oh, you know all about this list, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop.
No, thank you.
Amaryllis, Amaryllis, Amaryllis. He's crying.
Winthrop!
Why does he get so mad at people just because he lisps?
It's not only because he lisps, Amaryllis. That's just part of it.
What's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he doesn't talk very much.
Not even seeing your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever talk to me. I do him every night. I say goodnight to him on the evening star. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night, Susan.
There, darling, don't cry. You have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never. I'll end up an Olmy like you. I'm sorry, Miss Marion. Can I play my cross-hand piece?
May
I play my cross-hand piece?
You may.
See, without a sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to on the evening star.
I know, Amaryllis, but for the time being, you can say goodnight, my someone, and you can put the name in when the right someone comes along.
It's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my cross-hand piece.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love. Sleep tight, my someone. Sleep tight, my love. depend on a wish and a star, as long as my heart doesn't know who you are. Sweet dreams be yours here if dreams there be. Sweet dreams to carry you close to me. I wish they may, and I wish they might. Now good night, my someone, good night. Good night. Good night. Like banners they tyranny tremble, when borne by the red, white, and blue. When borne by the red, white, and blue. When borne by the red, white, and blue. Like banners they tyranny tremble, when borne by the red, white, and blue.
I'm sure we're all grateful to my wife, Elaine McKechnie-Shin, for leading the singing. And to J.C. Squires for his fine stereoptician slides. And to Ethel Talkmar, our fine player, piano. As Mayor of River City, I welcome you River citizens to our 4th of July exercises set up for the indoors here in Madison Gymnasium. I count the weather. 4-score! 4-score! The members of the school board will present a patriotic tableau. The members of the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement about costumes, I suppose. Instead, the daughters of the American Revolution will present a spectacle. My wife, in which my wife, Elaine McKechnie-Shin, will take a leading part.
We now present tribute to the president from Washington to Taft.
From the sky overhead,
some blues for loyalty,
and to sew them all together with loyal hearts and true.
And hand in hand as one we stand for the red, the white, and the blue.
A noble list: George Washington, John Adams,
Thomas Jefferson,
James Madison and James Monroe.
John Quincy Adams and below. King Andrew Jackson in his turn.
Martin Van Buren, next we learn.
William Henry Harrison.
And soon John Tyler follow on. James K. Polk.
And Zachary Taylor ruled the folk till death.
And Millard Fillmore came along.
Franklin Pierce we next must name. James Buchanan then appears.
And Abraham Lincoln through those years of war till life was lost.
A house divided against itself cannot stand. I do not believe that this government can endure
I have handled this.
Who set off that cracker?
I know who did it. Tommy Gillis did it. Tommy Gillis did it.
Oh yes, it was Tommy Gillis.
Tommy Gillis. I wouldn't go nowhere if I was you.
Mrs. Chin will recover. No thanks to a certain young ruffian who is a disgrace to our city. 4 score! The Payne's fireworks spectacle, last days of Poppy Eye, will take place, providing the rain stops by 9:30. It'll be out to Madison Picnic Park, in the far meadow, across the creek from the pest house.
How can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair?
Sure did, Hubert. That's why we're all prepared for a storm.
The Gazette is accurate most of the time, and you know it, JC.
You wouldn't last very long in the banking business being accurate most of the
The Gazette is never
Just a minute! Let's have order here! Order!
Number 8's late again. Make her early.
She's late already. She's right on time.
Will the school board stop bickering at public?
All in the world outside.
Never mind!
Four score!
We hear there's a new pool table in town.
That's what I heard.
Yeah! Just a minute.
Now, is it a pool table or isn't it?
Yeah! Will you allow me to get on with the exercises?
We want no more of this exercise business until this pool table matter is resolved.
Yeah!
Protect our children.
Yeah!
Resist sin and corruption. Smite the devil and keep our young ones pure.
Yeah!
Friends, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with this trouble, friends, with a wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me, if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize the River City Boys Band. Just think, my friends, how could any pool table ever hope to compete with a gold trombone? Ra, 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 ra. Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous, fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, billiard parlor walls come a-tumbling down. Oh, band will do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I'm a boy band. Do you hear me? I say River City needs to have a boys band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand, and River City's gonna have a boys band. As sure as the Lord made little green apples, and that band's gonna be in uniform. Johnny, Billy, take breath, and you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals, and you'll hear the thunder of rolling drums, and the shiver of trumpets, tum-da-da. And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed with Gilmore, Vigarati, Pat Conway, W.C. Handy, the great creator, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on that same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every nation's band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 weeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper bottom timpani in horse platoons, thundering all along the road. so badly. Thundering, louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who'd improvise a full occupying at the score.
calls for emergency action. That man is a spellbinder. I haven't seen idle people get so excited since the night Frank Gosh and Strangler Lewis lay on the mat for 3.5 hours without moving a muscle. Never mind! I want his credentials. Grab it, hold on! You little piece of shit!
Oh, no. Thanks, Professor. Have to make an example of him. Ringleader, you know? What he does, the gang does.
Jilly Clyde, let me go! You wild kid, yeah. Hanging around my oldest girl? His father was one of them day laborers south of town. You wild kid, yeah. Tagging down Main Street after my oldest girl last Sunday. We wasn't either tagging you contradict me. We was just walking together, Jilly Clyde. You watch your phraseology. I know what you was doing. My little Gracie Senior. Now you stay away from my oldest girl, or you'll hear from me till who laid the ranks. Hill, I'll talk to you Monday morning about this band thing. 10 o'clock sharp. Men, I want that spellbinder's credentials.
Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
You don't know this kid. He's tough. He's got his game waiting outside.
Oh, I'll be careful. Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
The band? Isn't that for the little kids?
I'm not talking about playing. You're mechanically minded, aren't you? Ever had anything with perpetual motion?
Nearly had it a couple times.
You did? Well, you're my man. Did you know that nobody's ever invented the music holder for a marching piccolo player? See, know where to hang the music?
Wonder where I can get some wire from.
Look in your cellar. That's where most people keep wire. Oh, and Tommy. Now, Constable, this is how you break up a gang. Oh, young lady, Miss, what's your name?
Zanita, I had no idea you was beckoning for me. Ye gosh.
Zanita, do you know Tommy Jewish?
Well,
Tommy, this is Zanita. Escort the young lady home.
Only excepting I'm not going home. I have to go to the library. Ye gosh.
Then escort her home by way of the library. By way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir.
Ye gosh.
Pretty bright young fellow. Made a couple of mistakes, though.
Oh?
Well, Mayor happens to own the billiard parlor and the new pool table.
Oh. What's my other mistake?
That is Anita. She's the mayor's oldest girl.
Evening, Professor Hill. We'd like to have your credentials. Academic certificates. Nothing of the kind. Letters and
What am I hearing? You say ice cream.
Ice cream, but I don't see
Oh, I
nothing.
talk then. Down here.
Ice cream.
Talk slow. Ice cream. See? Singing is just the same talking. Now you.
Ice cream.
Now you, sir. Now you, sir. Ladies, from now on, you'll never see one of those men without the other three.
Oh, Professor, you're wrong. Ladies and I hated each other for 15 years.
Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream.
How can there be
any sin insincere? Where is the good and goodbye and goodbye? Your apprehensions confuse me, dear. Puzzle and mystify, tell me what can be fair in farewell, dear. While one single star shines above, how can there be any sin insincere? Aren't we sincerely in love? Oh, we're in love.
I don't suppose you live alone or anything.
No.
Well, I've got some lovely caramels down at the hotel.
Mr. Hill.
Professor Hill.
Professor of what? At what college did they give a degree? For knowing women on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall.
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of Lot 5.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? Oh. Another thing, Mr. Hill. I'm not as easily hoodwinked or mesmerized as some people in this town, and I think it is only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in there, which may very well give me some interesting information about you.
Hey, Gregory!
Hi, Marcellus. And don't call me Greggy.
How did you make for the music teacher last night?
Scrumptious. Ain't out of my hand the moment I tipped my hat.
Gee, this boy, you kind of suck tonight. For a minute, I thought you knew something about leading a band. Just like we imitated band concert fellow back in Dublin.
Kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, son. Just you keep your eyes on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? You only use 10 days for instruments to arrive.
It still does. But it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh, Gregory, have you had a uniform?
Uniforms and instruction.
Instruction books? But Greg, you can't pass yourself as a music teacher. I mean, not in 4 weeks.
Mars.
But you don't know one from another.
I've got a revolutionary new method called the think system where you don't bother with notes.
But in 4 weeks, people want to hear the music. You gotta leave the
But when the uniforms arrive, they forget everything else. At least long enough for me to collect and leave. Oh, this is a refined operation, son, and I've got it timed down to the very last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. And now, Mr. Washburn, if you'll excuse
Gonna
me.
line yourself up some canoodling, huh?
Well,
Say, I could fix you up with Ethel's sister. Lovely girl, teaches us.
oh, no wide-eyed, eager, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of girl spins webs no spider ever. Listen, boy. A girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir. For no Diana do I play fawn. I can tell you that right now. I snarl, I hiss. How can ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark and I fizz at the lady who knows what time it is. I cheer and I rave for the virtue I'm too late to save. The sadder but wiser girl for me. No bright-eyed, breathless, blushing baby doll baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots. No sailor ever knew. I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. No dewy young miss who keeps resisting all the time she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir, for she's the fisherman, I'm the fish you see. I flinch and I shine when the laugh with the delicate air goes by. I smile and I grin when a gal with a touch of sin walks in. I hope and I pray for a Hester to win just one more aid. A sadder but wiser girl's the girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
Everybody is so excited about the band! I'm Ethel Toffelmeyer, Cathedral girl.
Right. And this is Mrs. Squires and Mrs. Hicks. And I'm sure you've met our mayor's wife, Eulalie McKechnie. Isn't this exciting, Eulalie? Oh, I could not say, oh no, I could not say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure, and naturally I am reticent. Oh yes, I'm reticent.
Of course, Mrs. Shin, I understand, but you see, part of my plans include a committee on the dance and... No, wait. Do that again, Miss Shin. Your foot, the way you raised it just now.
Oh, well, I have a bone.
Oh, what grace! What natural flow and rhythm! What expression of line and movement!
Mr. Hill!
Every move you make, you simply must accept the chairmanship of the Ladies' Auxiliary for the classic dance. Mustn't she, ladies?
Oh, yes,
Every move you make, Miss Shin, bespeaks their sont. Will you say yes, Miss Shin?
Eulalie McKechnie! That is dancing! Well!
Then you accept?
Yes, indeed! And I would like to say...
Thank you. Now, the young woman who plays the piano, Marion Prue, I believe. After all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, tap a little, pick a little, tap a little, cheep, 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 tap a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, tap a little, pick a little, tap a little, cheep, 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 tap a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, tap a little, pick a little, tap a little, cheep, 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 tap a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, tap a little, pick a little, tap a little, cheep, 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 cheep.
Oh, Professor, that woman doesn't belong on any private committee. You see, I shouldn't be telling you this. She had to keep shooting books.
Dirty books.
Sure, sir.
This is the worst thing. Of course, I shouldn't be telling you this, but
I'll tell.
the man lived on my street. Let me tell.
Stop! I will tell. She made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in this town until she came to it. Old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison. Madison Gymnasium. Madison Public Park. Madison Hospital. That Miser Madison.
Exactly. Who do you think he was anyway?
Well, I should say the show-off. Gave the town the library too, didn't he?
That's the thing. When he died, he handed the library to the city. But he left all the books to her. She was seen going and coming from his place. Oh yes, that woman made brazen overtures. The guilt that's guaranteed. To the golden links in her eye and so her voice is counterfeit ring. Just melt her down and you'll reveal a love to lead as cold as steel here, where a woman's heart is. He left River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her. Sure, sir. Anyways, all that. Cheep, 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 cheep. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more,
Good night, ladies.
pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 cheep. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little, good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We're going to leave.
It's all right. I know everything, and it doesn't make a difference.
What are you talking
You were
about?
probably very young. Anyone can make a mistake.
What?
No apologies, no explanations, please. I'll only be in town a short while, and the sadder but wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
I have.
Well, what do you want to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
The librarian, Marion. You're not listening. Marion. Marbles. 6 Steelies, 8 Aggies, a dozen Pee-wees, and 1 big Lassie with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop him.
No!
Madam Librarian. What can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, heaven help us if the library caught on fire and the volunteer hose brigade men had to whisper the news to Marian. Madam Librarian. What can I say, my dear, to make it clear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marian, if I stumbled and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could lie on the floor unnoticed till my body had turned to Marian. Marian. Madam Librarian. Now in the moonlight, a man could sing it. In the moonlight, and a fellow would know that his darling and hear every word of his song with the moonlight helping along. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian, Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win, for the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin, and he's talking out loud with any librarian such as Marian. Madam Librarian. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian, Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win, but the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin, and he's talking out loud with any librarian such as Marian. The ladies' dance meeting each Tuesday nights. Marshmallow. Madam Librarian. Well, Tommy, we've had an amazing evening. 11 sales and a 12. Tell you what, It's almost noon. You better go home and get yourself some supper. I'll try some sails by myself.
Gee, thanks. Bye, Professor.
Thank you, Tommy.
Just a minute here. Are you still listening? You haven't got a license?
Why, no, Mayor Shin. I collect doorbells. You see, this particular specimen has an unusual tone shift that...
Flattery will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. Why have you been down to City Hall through references?
Oh, just missed you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, it's your hand. Oh, no.
What?
It's the spread of the little finger. It's hereditary.
Oh, it is? What does that mean?
It means your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good. It means America has at last birthed an artist who can play the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
How can I get one of those horns?
Just sign here, Mr. Mayor. That'll be $17 import fee.
Yes, sir. And just think, I could have missed this whole... I haven't got any son! Oh, you want squireless Rubenites. You want flightless. You be down in the City Hall with your fine gun papers at 3 o'clock.
You mean this afternoon?
I couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Miss Peru, are you aware that you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I'm not sure I understand you entirely, Professor.
If your son has that same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, by George. But not that he could ever be really great, you understand, but...
Oh, is that so? And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, all the really great cornet players, well, they were Irish. Clark, Mendez, Klein.
But Professor, we are Irish!
No, really, that clinches it. Sign here, Miss Peru, your boy was born to play the cornet. Fine. That'll be $7 earnest money, nothing more due till the first installment payable at the opening of band practice. Thank you. And, of course, I'll need the boy's measurements for his uniform.
His uniform?
Hello, son? Certainly, his uniform. And there won't be a penny due till delivery, which gives him 4 weeks to enjoy, to anticipate, to imagine at no cost whatsoever. Never let the demands of tomorrow interfere with the excitements and pleasures of today.
Would it have a
stripe? Certainly, my boy, a wide red stripe on each side. What do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us. And if you get him to play in the band, you'll have St. Michael's own way with you. But if anybody can do it, I'll bet you can. Out of a crowd, I'd pick you for a hod-carrying, clay-pipe-smoking, shamrock-wearing, harp-playing, marine-pitching, tennis-hall Mitchell-singing Irishman. Be coming, be jammers. Where are you from, me boy?
Gary, Indiana.
I knew it. Gary... What did you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Who was she now?
Certainly. Gary, Indiana, as a Shakespeare would say, rolls along softly on the tongue this way. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, that's the town that knew me well. If you'd like to have a logical explanation how I happened on this elegant syncopation, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, or Rome. But Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my own sweet home.
Professor, I really don't know if I can.
I think you'll be a natural. Watch. See?
I don't think I can do it.
Just follow me. See, you're a natural. Oh, you've got it down.
I haven't danced in years.
one, huh? You're a great dancer. Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, are wrong. But
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. How to do, Miss Peru?
How to do, Mr. Hill?
Of course, Peru. I thought the name sounded familiar. I've tried to see you since the other night.
He wants to put Winthrop in the band.
We're not interested, Mama.
But Marion, the boy might have his father's musical gift. He does have my jaw, you know.
Oh, your husband musical. Well, I'd like to talk to him.
Do you burst into everyone's home like this? Prying into personal affairs? We're not interested.
Marion.
Well, that's one for and one against. Why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
I'm sorry. But I think that's all the more reason your boy should have something like
My
this.
brother is a 10-year-old problem child who doesn't understand why his father was taken away from him. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for the past 2 years. As to your musical tricks, why don't you go into some business with some carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks. Now, Miss Peru, I get the feeling she likes the idea. A little cautious, perhaps, but I admire that in a woman. Just keep me alive, and I'll be back later in the week.
One moment, Professor. About the boy's measurements, I make all his clothes. Sleeves 21, waist 18, crouch 14.
Fine. That's all I need. Now I must get back to the hotel.
Professor, I do hope you'll excuse Marion. She's not
Oh, please. Don't worry about a thing. I'm sure that at heart she's as lovely as yourself. Good day to ya, Widow Peru.
Has he gone?
He has. I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think about your future. Gary, Indiana, conservation class of Art 5. Now, darling.
Now, Mama, surely a girl's future doesn't depend on every fast-talking, self-centered, woman-chasing traveling man that comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not in this particular case impress me.
All right, darling, all right. Although it's a well-known fact, if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in the other, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop, I know you're there. Please go to the library and ask Miss Grubb to give you the book I set aside. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners. Do I have to? I've written it all down. You won't have to talk to anyone. Thank you.
Now what do you want to? Why do you need books at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling that the Indiana Journal may help me poke some large holes in the professor's claims.
Well, I give up. Darling, if you don't mind my asking, at your age, what kind of white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Greener, who backs me into the ancient history shelf every time he comes into the library.
He does?
Or Ed Gamage and that buggy of his with the removable back seat. But I'm not waiting for a man in shining white armor either. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not afraid of a few nice things. My white knight, what my heart would say if it only knew how. Please, dear Venus, show me now. All I want is a placeman, all I want is a modest man, a quiet man, a gentleman, a straightforward and honest man to sit with me in a cottage somewhere in the state of Iowa, and I'd like him to be more interested in me than he is in himself, and more interested in us than in me. And if occasionally he pondered what makes Shakespeare and Beethoven great, him I could love till I die. Him I could love till I die. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, let me walk with him where the others ride by. Walk and love him till I die. Till I
Zanita? Hey, Zanita.
Tommy, Papa and Mom are sitting right there in the bank. Ye gods.
All right, then meet me after supper.
I can't. It's Edward's leave night. Meet you where?
The footbridge.
You see, isn't that just what I said? First the lumberyard, and now the footbridge. And wherever you asked me to meet you after that? In the black hole of Calcutta? Ye gods!
I only want to show you my invention.
What invention?
My music holder for the marching piccolo player. It still has a couple of minor flaws, see? When you keep it tight enough to hold the music steady, you cut off circulation and can't wiggle your fingers. And you could go blind.
Tommy, it's Papa! Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be.
I got a box of maple sugar on my birthday.
In March I got a green wagon. And once I got some grapefruit from Tampa.
Montgomery Ward bought me a bathtub and a crosscut saw.
Is that the first thing I said or not?
Yes, sure.
Yes. The very first thing I said, or I came to the horse. Get that spell my credentials, I said, morning of July 4th, 1912. And now look, my wife's off dancing at Indian hours instead of in the home.
But George!
School board is singing up street and down now instead of tending to city matters. My oldest girl is boodling around with some wild kid. And my business has fallen off so far, I can't find a balance sheet.
Mayor Shin, I found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater.
His who?
His university.
I know all about that. In fact, that's all I can ever get out of him. Gary Conservatory, class of on 5.
If you'll just take the time to read a little bit about the conservatory, you won't have to look much further. It's on page...
Papa, the Wells Fargo wagon came in from the depot.
Oh, likely story. At this aren't they? Nonsense. The Wells Fargo wagon.
It could be the band instruments.
It's a band instrument.
Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. A pretty face and price of COP.
Or it could be.
Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be.
Something special.
Something very, very special now. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what he was coming for.
I got some summer from Seattle, that's September.
I hope I get my Louisies from Fresno.
The TAR sent a cannon for the courthouse square.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming now. I don't know how I could ever wait to see. It could be something for someone who is no religion, but it could be something special just for me.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon, don't you dare to make a stop until you stop for me.
meantime, stay up the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and start thinking about the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
La-di-da, la-di-da. Sister, isn't this the most scrumptious thing you ever saw? I never thought I'd see anything so scrumptious as the scrumptious thing. Oh, sister.
Round one for you, Mr. Hill. But I better hear some by God tooting out them horns in pretty short order. We're all seen in front of the grand jury over the county seat. Now, Miss Marion, about that book.
Come, George! Come, Miss Fugit!
You watch your frazzle linguini. Get along if you want to. I've got to get something from the librarian. About that book.
The ladies' dance committee meets Tuesday nights at the high school.
Splendid, ladies! I predict that our Delft display will be the highlight of the ice cream sociable. Gentlemen, when you're ready, and ladies, remember, and don't make me tell you again, always keep your faces to the audience! All right, Mr. Dunlop.
It's you in the sunrise. It's you in my cup. It's you all the way into town. that gets me down. It's you on my pillow in all of my dreams, till once more the morning breaks through. What words could be saner, or truer, or plainer than it's you? It's you.
Smile, girl, smile!
Yes, it's you. Oh, yes, it's you.
Mr. Rockford, we are entitled to 5 more minutes.
Well, if you think you hold them back, go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Washburn, wait to see the new moves Professor Hill taught us.
Yeah! All right, what it will be?
The Shapoopy.
Now the woman will kiss on the first date is usually a hussy. And the woman will kiss on the second time out is anything but fussy. But the woman will wait till the third time around, head and house, feet on the ground. She's the girl who's glad is found. She is Shapoop, 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 Shapoop. The girl who's hard to get. Shapoop, Shapoop, Shapoop. But she can't win her yes. Walker watches her raise the curtain. They are walking out west to make for certain. West won't go flower, girl, she will never get sorry. You beg a pardon. Squeeze her once, she is a little king, big ass, big fat, it's a fancy little king. Once more, tap, forever she will never get sore. The way to supper. Oh, little sound, let's go down that anyone can see. Look at her now, she's a go gal. Ooh, only goes for me. Squeeze her once, she is a little king, big ass, big fat, it's a fancy little king. Once more, tap, forever she will never get sore. The way to supper. Shapoop, shapoop, shapoop. The girl is hard to get. Shapoop, shapoop, shapoop. But she can't win her yet.
See? Got it.
You're a natural.
You know exactly what you're doing. Guess that's what we used after all. Come on, everyone, join in. Try this one on for size. Get your hands off my daughter!
Mr. Shin, Your Honor, your daughter and I are going steady behind your back.
Why, you?
Oh, I'd rather do it in front of your back. But
Do what?
never mind. Zanita's scared of you, but I'm not. I should think you'd hate to have your own daughter scared of you, Geely Klein. I'm going to warn you once more. If I ever catch you touching my daughter, oh my God, horsewhip you till hell won't have it again!
Not yours!
Not one poop out of you, madam!
I think he needs teeth.
Yes! Now get out of this public building. I got as much right in a public place as anybody. Right? How do you have any rights around here? Aiding and abetting the swindle activities of this spellbinding symbol salesman? You know what I see written all over you? Reform School! Now get out! Get out, you wild kid!
Papa, please! It's capitalist like you make blood in the marketplace, ye gods!
You watch your frazzle Waluigi. Go home, young woman. You, Larry? You tend to your dance.
My dad!
I'll handle Shanita. Taking those wild kids from the wrong side of town.
Mayor Shane, if I could just make you understand.
Well, you can't. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I read that book you gave me from cover to cover and didn't find a thing.
Mr. Mayor, if you please.
I'll settle your hash as soon as I get these premises off my oldest girl. Yes.
All right, but in the meantime, I want you to know that I'm vouching for Tommy Gilas. That boy's got the confidence of every kid in town. You'll be standing in line waiting to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, its individual members will have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they'll get from tripping over their beards. I'll tell you something. My fine young never mind. Oliver, Ewart, JC, Olin. I want this man's references, and I want him tonight. Don't let him out of your sight. He's slippier than a Mississippi sturgeon.
Don't you mean you want us to get his credentials, don't you?
Get his papers, or get him in jail! I couldn't make myself any clearer if I was a button hook in the well water.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shane has behaved abominably, and it was wonderful of you to come to Tommy's defense.
Oh, that was nothing.
Yes, it was.
Oh, no. A man can't dodge the issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? The coward dies 1,000 deaths, the brave man only 500. Unfortunately, of course, the mayor was already pretty mad on account of his billiard parlor. Now, Oh, I suppose a recommendation from a musical authority such as yourself would help, but I couldn't think of asking you to do such a thing.
Why, Professor Hill?
You would?
I'd be glad to. I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been wanting to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
His cornet? Mother of pearl keys?
I'm sure it's fine, but you see, he never touches it. Oh, the first week or so, he made a few, experimental blacks, I guess you would say.
Yes, blacks.
He sings the minuet in G constantly, but he never touches it.
Well,
He says you told him it wasn't necessary.
Well.
He tells me of some think system where if he thinks the minuet in G, he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor.
Miss Marion, the think system is a revolutionary method, I admit. So was Galileo's conception of the heavens, Columbus's conception of the egg-eyed globe, Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Now, I cannot discuss these things with you in public, but if you'll allow me to call, when may I call?
Why any night this week?
You must join our Hill Art Committee. You look so dear. Then think you should go with Professor Hill. And welcome you a chance, like, a fairy princess with a moonbeam for your floor. You got a golden chain in your hair and silver shoes for all to see. We know that you won't feel no fold your forgiving heart of pure gold. Here, where woman's heart should be. Fairy princess, moonbeam floor, golden chain, silver shoes, blindfolds, heart of gold. Here, where women's heart should be. The professor told us to read those books, and we simply adore them all. Chaucer, Riley, Balzac, pick a little top of the tree.
Sorry, Professor. We got orders. We've all been deputized.
Yes, very nice. Congratulations. Let's see now. You know all week I've tried to give you fellows my references and credentials, but every time you seem to get off the subject somehow. Now, I have just what you want up in my hotel. Take me a second.
Sorry. Afraid I'll have to go with you.
Yes, well, let's just see if I have my key. Oh, what's this? A testimonial from Madame Rini, the only female bassoon player to ever appear on the Red Pest Circuit. Her stage name, of course. Actually, she was from Malines. Lida Rose Quackenbush. Oh, you'll never forget the name Lida Rose. Same as the old song. That's better. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose.
To get the sun back in the sky. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose. About 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lida Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So
off the question. Light a rose, I'm lonely and rose without a sweetheart to my name. Light a rose, now everyone knows that I'm hoping you're the same. So here's my love song, not fancy or fine. Light a rose, oh won't you be mine? Light a rose, oh light a rose, oh light a rose.
Will you ever quit arguing with yourself? Will you ever tell him? Won't you ever tell him? Oh, yes, I know, I'm fiddlesticks. Just open your mouth and let it come out.
No, Mama.
No, nothing. If he calls again, you see him alone. And if you haven't got the gumption to tell him how you feel,
Tell him.
well, there's nothing wrong with a little lady like it.
Mama.
Where have you been?
Fishing.
Fishing?
With Harold. You mean Professor Hill?
Mm-hmm.
And look, I still have some worm left. Did you have a good time?
Scrumptious. He told me all about his hometown, Gary, Indiana. And he said he'll take me there someday. He even taught me a song that has hardly any S's in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. That's the town that knew me well. If you like to have a logical explanation, how it happened on this elegant syncopation, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can light my day. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, or Rome. But Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. If you like to have a logical explanation, how it happened on this elegant syncopation, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, or Rome. But Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home.
Leave the dishes, I'll do them, Mama.
Don't you have to change for the social?
There's time later.
Shouldn't live around here somewhere?
The ship home is on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Great. I see you're the piano teacher in town. You must know about this fellow here from the boys band here.
Yes.
Well, don't let me worry you no more. I got the goose on him in spades. The swindling, two-bit thimble rigger. That's why I got to see Shin. I'm just passing through. The number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop, which was 20. Would you like to concentrate 5 minutes on you, girly girl?
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cowell, ambulance salesman. But just now, I'm out to protect the good names of the traveling fraternity from this swindler.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake my old lady's corset cover. That fella's been the raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth just long enough. He spoiled Illinois for me, and he's not gonna spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of music teacher are you? You didn't see through him? There's no more professor.
I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine director, and he's
Oh, now wait a minute. Fine director? Have you heard one of the music from any band?
No,
But nothing, girly girl. He never formed his band in his life, and he never will.
If you'll just listen to me for a minute.
I'd like to do more than that if at the time. I should have got an inclination. But I got to get back on that train. I got to leave this dynamite with somebody on the way to the depot. Bye, girly girl. See you next time, dude.
You'll never take the train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossing.
No, sir. But I got to leave word, and I can see you ain't the one to leave it with.
Just a minute, Mr. Cowell. You don't know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
No, I meant I don't know you, and...
Yes, I'll need more time anyway.
I mean, as well as I'd like to.
No trouble there, girly girl.
I never met a man who sells anvils before. That's something, well, quite different.
It's a real salesman, I can tell you that. Anvils have limited appeal, you know. What am I doing? I'm missing the train, I'll get fired. You're not to leave word about the fellowship.
Leave word with me.
Not on your team type. How do I know to deliver these letters?
Try me. Now there's your train. Run for it.
Why are you talking a little? Who do you think you're protecting? That guy's got a run in every county in Illinois, and he's taking it away from every one of them. That's 102 counties. Not counting the piano teachers like you who closes up just to keep their mouths shut. Neither one of you spread the last of me, girl.
Suggestion, I'll pop the question. Light a rose, I'm home again, rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Good evening, Miss Marianne. Light a rose, now everyone knows that I'm hoping you're the same. So here's my love song, not fancy or fine.
Marianne!
Light a rose, oh, won't you be mine? Light a
Marianne, dear, who was you talking to just... Why, Professor Hill.
Miss Peru, top of the evening. Miss Marion.
You and Marianne, come up and sit. I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, I'll put some on.
Shall we set, as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
Did I? I didn't mean anything.
Now, Miss Marion, I wasn't suggesting your invitation inferred anything but academic enlightenment. The think system. I've been by her house 1 or 2 times this week to try and explain it to you, but there always seem to be people around. Mostly ladies, I thought.
Yes, Miss Squires and several of the ladies.
Good. Wouldn't want anyone beating my time. You wouldn't? No, ma'am. This evidently isn't the convenient night. I'll see you at the sociable later.
Professor Hill, is it true that you've had 100? What I'm trying to say is...
Yes.
Is it true that you really developed a think system?
What? Think system? Oh, think system! Yes! It's really very simple. As simple as whistling. Nobody has to show you how to use your lips in whistling. You merely need to think a tune to have it come out clearly here. Now just try this yourself before you ask any questions.
I take your word.
Could we sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers.
I dare say you meet dozens, even 100.
Well, I think that
Have they all been as fascinated as I have with the think system?
some more, some less. One young lady had thought up the same system before I got to her town. She showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Please don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. You must have many more important things to do than to explain the think system to me.
Can't think of one.
And I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where'd you get that idea?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Now, Miss Marion, you mustn't believe everything you hear. After all, one even hears rumors of librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty?
Uncle Matty.
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me in a sure job so Mother Winthrop and I would have some security. Surely you don't believe
Of course not. But that's exactly what I'm saying. Why do you think people start these rumors?
Narrow-mindedness, jealousy? Jealousy mostly, I guess.
Exactly. And jealousy mostly starts rumors of traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Oh, nothing about you personally, just generally.
What have you heard generally?
Just that. But of course it stands to reason that your attentions to customers and to teachers might easily be misinterpreted. I mean, honestly, mightn't they?
Why?
And as you say, if another salesman or somebody were jealous, they could be downright lies, couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things.
Why, of course.
That just goes to show you should never believe everything you hear, doesn't it? I mean, if you just discuss things.
Miss Marion, I would be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you, but couldn't we do it sitting down? You do sit, your knees bend and all.
We could sit on the porch bench.
Or we could sit over at a large hollow log over at the footbridge.
Oh, I couldn't think of that. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk.
I've got to dress for the sociable.
Then meet me there in 15 minutes.
I just can't. Some other time, maybe tomorrow?
My dear little librarian. Pile up enough tomorrows and you'll find you've collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. Well, I don't know about you, but I'd like to make tonight worth remembering.
So would I.
Footbridge. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama! What? I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Glory be in the saints, the Christ it works.
What does?
I've been using the think system on you from the parlor.
Uniform has arrived. The kids are in them already. The people gonna be screaming for music if those kids show up at sociable.
Yeah.
Here's most of though I got Tommy to collect it. He's trying to keep the kids together, at least pretend to hold the practice over the lumberyard.
All right, good, Mars, go get the rig.
I got it.
What time's the freight go?
9:40 from Junction.
Well, it's not even 8:30 yet.
Look, you want to turn the weather around here and you get yourself caught in the body trap. You
Don't
go
worry,
ahead,
Mars. I'll meet you back at the hotel in plenty of time. Miss Marion, you're late.
But you said 15
I
minutes.
meant that you were, well, I'd say about 26 years too late. It took you this long to get to the footbridge with a fellow.
If you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Now, Miss Marion, surely you don't believe I'm trying to sell you anything.
No, you've given me something. And that's why I came.
I don't recall.
But yes, you have. Something beautiful. And that's why I decided to come, and I'm glad. Oh, please don't be afraid. I expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. I know there have been many ports of call, and there'll be many more. But that's no reason for me not to be grateful for what you've left behind for me.
Marion,
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard
lot of things you don't know about me. Excuse me. I'm expecting a cable from Hector Barrier. This could be it. Now what?
Who's the salesman? Sounds like she's selling you or buying.
You're nuts. I didn't know I was going to be able to leave tonight. But besides, I had to keep her off balance. I told you.
Well, she is so far off balance that you can't tell her how to catapult in the hurricane.
Listen, Buster Brown, I came up through the ranks on this skirmish. I am not leaving without my commission.
Greg, you can't get anywhere right out here on the footbridge.
There's a place over in Madison Park makes this footbridge look like the old ladies' home. Now beat it. Go get the wig. Never a peaceful moment in the music business. Now then, where were we?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you.
Yeah, well, we don't have to get into all that now, do we?
No, we don't. Or ever, for that matter. Harold, the librarian hasn't felt like doing research much lately, but she sure did plenty when you first got here.
Oh, about what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory of Music, gold medal class of '05. Harold, there wasn't any Gary Conservatory in '05 because the town wasn't even built till '06. I'll see you at the social board.
You knew this whole time?
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came. I tore this page out of the Indiana Journal. It was originally intended to use against you, but now I give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew, why didn't you? Why, you little... While 110 cornets played the air, then I modestly took my place as the one and only bass, as I oomphed up and down the square.
Good night, my someone, good night, my love.
While 110 cornets played behind,
Our star is shining its brightest light.
there were horns of every shape and sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams they be.
Well, 110 cornets play the air.
I wish I may and I wish I might. So good night, my someone, good night.
Greg, this guy's crazy. He's going all over Tuscaloosa, everything.
I'll say I'm crazy. It's my train. Probably lost my job, but I got you now, Hugh, and you will pay. You'd be in the creek right now had not been for that piano teacher. I told her all about you and what she do. Lily gags me around till I couldn't get to Shishin. This little dried up man-hungry doxy wrong Hugh.
Get out of here before I kill you, you dirty mouth!
You bully, you big boy. I'll stay in this town till you get yours up, down, through, and sideways. Why? You never even knew the territory.
Griffin, here's your stuff. The ring is out. Come on, hurry up.
Listen to this man. You gullible green-breast goats. Can't you get it through your heads that you're being swindled out of your eyepiece right now, this minute? There's a burglar in the back room while you're fiddling in the parlor. I'm talking about Harold Hill. Hey, road agent, highwayman, pickpocket. Same thing. He's got his hand in your wallet, mister, and yours, madam, and yours, little lady, ever since the first moment he came to this town. There's more documented evidence than you ever had time to read. There isn't any band, there never has been any band, and there never will be any band. And you know, if you don't hunt this man down right now, like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of town. Now, will you believe me?
Well, we're waiting for.
I want my money back.
Yeah,
I want his pie.
After him! And when you find him, bring him to the schoolhouse. After him! Try the low road. Look by the creek. Try the mill. Back at the privy. I've been looking everywhere for you. Where have you been?
Harold, I've been looking for Winthrop. He's run away. Please go, Harold. They're even talking about tar and feathers.
I had to see you, Marion.
You don't owe me anything. Don't you know that? Not a word. Not a word. Now go. Please go.
Gregory, there's nowhere around here. Let's try it. Down by the creek.
Go. Winthrop!
Oh, just a minute there, son.
I'm not your son. Just go.
Not till I talk to you for a minute.
I won't listen. You wouldn't tell the truth anyway.
Would you?
Would not.
Would you? Tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty, rotten crook?
Yes.
Please go, you big liar.
What's the matter? You wanted the truth, didn't you? Now I'm bigger than you, and you're going to stand here and get it all, so you might as well quit wiggling. There's two things you're entitled to know. One, you're a wonderful kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band, so you quit moping around feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I think there's always a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, actually, the other thing isn't any of your business, now that I think about it.
I was to never come to River City.
No, you don't, Winthrop.
Sister, you believe him?
I believe everything he ever said.
But he promised us.
I know what he promised us, and it all happened just like he said. The flags and the lights and the colors and the symbols too. Where was all that? In the way that every kid in this town walked and acted and looked all summer? Especially you. Does Mama wish he'd never come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, Winthrop. Now go, Harold, please.
Go on, Professor. Hurry up.
I can't go, Winthrop.
Why not?
For the first time in my life, I've got my foot caught in the door. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all. So there was you. Gregory, you're here! No, nothing!
I interrupted the program at this point. Rest assured, this snake in our bosom would have been misapprehended by this time. Yes! And always remember, fellow river citizens, that I did everything in my power to prevent this dire happening from happening. Fourscore!
Well, have you done get our man back?
He's slippery, I told you.
I haven't seen any uniforms on my voice either since just after supper.
Fine situation.
Fourscore! Just a minute. Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. And if there are those, as I've heard, who are melting tar and collecting feathers, I will not say them nay!
Well, I should thank God to be some of you who can forget our everlasting, idle, stubborn, chip-on-the-shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold arrived. Well, do you remember? Do you? Well, I should think some of you ought to be grateful for what he's brought to River City. And if so, I think you'd want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there's a person in this hall who doesn't think this man Hill should be tarred and feathered, let him stand up. Eulalie, sit down. And the rest of you, standing there like a coat of Shropshire sheep. Have you forgotten how you paid for high-priced uniforms, technical instruction books, and high-priced band instruments? Have you forgotten the clear understanding and warranty that your child will be taught to play in a band? Well, where's the band? Where's the band?
Think, men. Think.